I'm sick of eating out, and I won't miss it one bit. That's the title of a video that's getting millions of views and igniting huge conversations. But why are so many people giving up on restaurants? Is it another diet culture trend, a new wave of pickiness, or something else entirely? Let's dig into the data and see if we can decode this revolting rebellion. Here is a modern confession that is hitting millions right in the gut, and not just because of the food. A woman took to Mumsnet to admit she's completely fed up with eating out, not because of diet culture, not because of a picky palate, but because she has been spending over $135 per meal on restaurant outings that left her disappointed, underwhelmed, and thinking, I could have made better food at home for a fraction of the cost. Sound familiar? This wasn't some one-off gripe. It was after 2 celebratory outings, one for a birthday, one for Father's Day, and both left her with the same sour taste. Expensive food that didn't justify the hype or the price. And when she posted about it, she unlocked a floodgate. Thousands of comments rolled in, echoing the same sentiment. Eating out just doesn't feel special anymore. Now, there are a few ways to look at this. Some say we're entering the era of food frugality, where people are becoming smarter spenders. They're tired of throwing money at middling meals, and are now making conscious choices about where and how they wine and dine. Others argue that this reflects a broader distrust of businesses in the service industry. With restaurants struggling to maintain quality amid economic uncertainty, customers are increasingly frustrated and feeling taken advantage of. But I think there's something deeper going on here. Something simmering beneath the surface for years. Something I like to call the restaurant recession. Now, this isn't an official term or anything, but it encapsulates this idea that our relationship with restaurants is changing, evolving into something less frequent, less habitual, and frankly, less enthusiastic. The thing is, dining out has lost its allure. The fantasy of a magical night out has curdled into a reality of overpriced mediocrity, and people are reaching a tipping point. The question is, why? Why are we so fed up with establishments that were once the highlight of our social calendars? Well, one reason is simple. The golden days of dining out never really existed, at least not for most of us. If you've ever indulged in the fantasy of a perfect restaurant experience, only to be brought back down to earth by reality, you know what I mean. The ambience is dim, the music is low, the food is exquisite, and the company is delightful. But let's be honest, this is a rare occurrence. A unicorn sighting in the vast landscape of restaurants. For every wonderful dining experience we've had, there have probably been countless others where the service was lackluster, the menu uninspired, and the bill a shocking surprise. In fact, research shows that more than half of diners have had a bad restaurant experience in the past year, and it's these bad experiences that leave lasting impressions, shaping our perceptions and driving us away. Another reason is the illusion of choice. With countless restaurants vying for our attention, it might seem like we're spoilt for choice. But once you look beyond the facade, you'll realize that most establishments are cookie cutters, serving up the same tired menu of burgers, pizzas, and pasta dishes with minor tweaks. Where's the adventure? Where's the culinary exploration? And let's not forget the hidden costs. While the initial sticker shock of a bill might come from the food and beverages, the true ambush is in the fine print. Service fees, tips, taxes, and other charges can easily add 25 to 30% to your total, leaving you feeling like you've been nickel and dimed to death. It's no wonder people are questioning whether dining out is really worth it anymore. So what does this all mean? Well, it means that we're entering a new era of dining, one where people are becoming more discerning, more demanding, and more empowered than ever before. The days of blindly following the crowd, enduring bad service or settling for mediocre food are over. Today, S-Diner is a savvy consumer who wants value for their money and is willing to vote with their wallet. If restaurants don't up their game, if they don't prioritize quality, innovation, and customer satisfaction, they'll be left behind. The question is, are they up for the challenge? Only time will tell. One of the most compelling replies to the Woman's post came from someone who said they've turned eating out into a vacation-only ritual. I save all my dining out for when I travel, then really go to town on it. That idea is gaining traction fast. Make eating out an event again, not a routine. Instead of spending hundreds a month on underwhelming local meals, people are banking those dollars for food tourism, where every bite is worth the hype. The rise of food tourism is undeniable. According to the National Restaurant Association, nearly half of diners say they'd choose a restaurant over an activity when traveling, and a third say they'd pay $25 to $50 more for a unique dining experience. Take a moment to consider the implications of this trend. When we stop seeing restaurants as a regular expense and start viewing them as vacation treats, it's a clear indication that we want more for our money. We want memorable, immersive, and mouth-watering experiences that transport us to different culinary landscapes. The problem is that many restaurants are failing to deliver on these expectations. They're stuck in a rut of complacency, serving up the same old dishes and failing to innovate. But the savvy diner isn't buying it anymore. They want something more, something that makes them feel like they're on vacation, even if they're just a few blocks from home. But this desire for a special something is leading many people to take matters into their own hands. They're ditching restaurants altogether and recreating the experience at home. The internet is filled with examples of this phenomenon. People are hosting themed dinner parties, trying out international recipes, and ordering ingredients from specialty stores. They're transforming their own kitchens into culinary adventurelands. And it's not just about saving money or avoiding bad experiences. It's about taking control. It's about being able to craft an experience that's exactly to their liking, without the constraints of a menu, the limitations of a kitchen, or the surprises of a bill. Take, for instance, the rise of meal kits. These boxes of pre-portioned ingredients and easy-to-follow recipes have exploded in popularity in recent years. In fact, the meal kit market is projected to reach $238 billion by 2027. Why? Because they offer a unique blend of convenience and control, something that restaurants simply cannot match. With a meal kit, you get the guidance and structure of a recipe, but you're in charge of the execution. You can add your own personal touches. You can adjust a seasoning or swap out ingredients based on your preferences. You can't do that at a restaurant. The restaurant recession isn't about rejecting the idea of going out or spending money on food. It's about redefining the dining experience. It's about wanting more, demanding better, and refusing to settle for less. It's a sign that we're evolving as eaters, becoming more adventurous, more sophisticated, and more empowered than ever before. This isn't a trend. It's a movement. It's a revolution. It's the restaurant revolution. So if you're a restaurant owner, take heed. The days of complacency are over. The days of cutting corners and serving up mediocre meals are numbered. You must evolve, or you'll be left behind. If you're a diner, embrace this revolution. Be bold. Be adventurous, be vocal, demand better from your restaurants, and be willing to walk away when they fall short. Your taste buds, your wallet, and your trust in restaurants will thank you. Because this isn't just about food. It's about an experience. It's about a relationship. It's about the magic that happens when we gather around a table and share a meal. Don't settle for less. Demand more. And together, we'll make the restaurant industry better. We're living in a time where the lines between our professional and private lives are blurring. Remote work has become the norm, and the boundaries between work hours and personal time are disappearing. This constant connectivity is not only changing the way we work, but also impacting our overall well-being. It's important to establish boundaries and protect your personal time. Consider implementing a cut-off time for work-related communications and stick to it. This will help you disconnect from work and recharge for the next day. Prioritize self-care activities that help you relax and rejuvenate, such as exercise, meditation, or spending time in nature. Set realistic expectations for yourself and avoid overcommitting both personally and professionally. Remember that it's okay to say no and that setting boundaries is essential for maintaining a healthy work-life balance. If you find this advice helpful, please don't hesitate to share it with your friends and family. Together, we can navigate the challenges of remote work and flexible schedules, while prioritizing our well-being and nurturing our relationships.